Okay, so we've finished up your iCulture, and if you just followed the directions, you should have a single page that looks like this, kind of looks like your iPhone. When you present it, if you hyperlink these items, so some of these I hyperlinked, some of these I didn't, it will end up taking you to like a external website. Let me show you another example, one that's kind of closer to one of the examples you had. Like maybe you have an embedded YouTube video like this where I can embed it and it plays like within here. Or maybe I have something like this where when I click on it, it talks about Scotland. So it actually opens up Google Maps, but it's going outside of your phone and it kind of ruins the illusion of this being a phone. So what our next level is to create a multi-slided interactive kind of non-linear, which means it doesn't go in order presentation. So for example, if I wanted to click on and play some Fortnite, I could click here and here's my Fortnite page. And I need to go back home and I want to watch a YouTube video, but instead of going to YouTube externally, it goes to a page that looks like it's within my phone and it's all supposed to be kind of seamless. And I sort of created a mobile version of all of this. Notice my little home button over here goes back home. And if I want to be able to build that within, let's say I want to text somebody, I click on my text icon, goes over here, and here's my horrible texting joke. Or I want to make a phone call, I click on the phone, goes right here. I'm going to call John Smith, right? So I didn't add a ton of interactivity to this. Click on my camera, there's my camera, right? Now, if I press escape, what you're going to see is how that's made up. This is made up of just a whole bunch of slides that have the same exact outside, and all I've done is change the inside. And within here, I've hyperlinked certain components within this to other slides. And so instead of hyperlinking it to a website or something like that, it hyperlinks within here. So here's how I would do that. So I'm going to go ahead and show you kind of an example of probably the most complicated one. I want to make it so that I have a new icon right here. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on this one. I'm going to make it so I have a new icon right here so that when I click on it, it goes to this YouTube video right here. All right. So I make use of what's called the snipping tool. So I'm going to go here. If I just start typing snip, S-N-I-P, it finds the snipping tool for you. I actually have mine shortcutted down here. Snipping tool is a cool way to copy and paste. All Windows 10 machines have it. Looks like this. I'm going to click new, and I'm just going to get a hold of kind of a square version of this picture. I'm going to go ahead and copy it, and that's going to become my icon over here. I'm just going to paste it on. I'm going to shrink it down. All right. Put it right there. And that's just sort of a real quick and easy way for me to create a little icon for somebody to click on. Now, here's the key to this. When you insert a new slide, which is what I want this to link to, you got to go to Insert Duplicate Slide. So you go to Slide, Duplicate Slide. And notice it doesn't look like anything happened, but actually I'm on slide number 2. So I'm going to go in here and get rid of all this stuff that I don't actually want, because I don't want all this stuff that's on my previous slide. Now, like I said, this is a little bit more complex than what you've done previously, so it's also a lot easier if you have a blank slide or a blank phone to over and over do this. So I don't want to delete these bottom things, so that basically what that does is, so when I click on that icon, it's going to jump to this slide, which doesn't look like it's a new slide, but it's actually just a blank screen, right? Then I'm going to go in here and I'm going to do the same thing where I am going to now get a mobile version of this page. And if you don't know how this works on Chrome, if you make Chrome the size of a cell phone, so in other words, put it right here, and I'm going to shrink it in and make it like this, it gives you the mobile version of it. Right? See how it just kind of snapped itself into a mobile version? I'm going to go ahead and grab my snipping tool, and I'm going to snip that version of YouTube. All right, something like maybe this. Again, copy it. I'm going to go back to my thing here, and I'm going to paste it. And slowly work with this to get it to fit into the way I want this screen to look. So let's just say that that's it. Now I would adjust, working with my outline, I would move that forward to the frame or the bezel so it covers up the edges that I want but for speed's sake, I'm just going to say that works. And then I'm going to go ahead and paste this video right on top of where this video goes, or not paste it, but insert it. Go grab this video, go grab the URL. There's a lot of kind of complex things going on here. And now I'm going to go to insert video. None of these skills are things you haven't necessarily done. We're just kind of putting it all together. Right? It's going to throw that video in, and I'm just going to put it right on top of where that video was on here. So it looks like it's playing within here, but really it's just on top of it. Now I'm going to go back here. I'm going to hyperlink that button to go where I want it to go. So I click link. I'm going to say, instead of an actual URL, I'm going to go to some slides within this presentation, and I want it to go to slide number 2. All right, apply that. So now I can kind of test this out. I go to present right here. I'm going to click on this one. I know it goes to slide 2, but it actually looks like YouTube. I'm going to press play, and now within what looks like YouTube is that video that I wanted to be able to embed. I don't care what video you put in there. It could be anything like that. Now I could continue to work on this because it's obvious there's a little like curve right there, a bezel, and there's some other things that are obvious that it's kind of messing with. And that's where you go in and you start working with the arrange menu. Maybe I want to bring this to the front. Whoops. Bring that to the front, but then I got to get a hold of my YouTube and push that to the back and kind of start working with those things. You can also use the cropping tool. That's another really cool tool that now has the ability to crop the edges like this. So let's find the rounded rectangle. See right there, it already just snapped it. It looks a little bit better already having the rounded edges. Okay, so that's the idea. I don't want to show you too much more beyond that, but that should give you a